Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends on your time zone. So thank you very much for joining in this webinar. So we would like to start the webinar soon. We are just giving few more minutes because the participants are still joining. We can see we are just want to give a few minutes to start with. So meanwhile, I would like to start with a brief introduction about myself. So my name is Dr. Souvik Chatterjee. I'm a certified PMI PMP trainer, as well as a certified PMP, as well as PMI ACP, meaning that the Agile Certified Practitioner. I'm around 18 years of the experience in the different project management domain, in the IT project management domain, pharma project management domain. I have worked with the biggest pharma companies and the biggest IT companies and part of the different project management involved in the Big Fours. Today's session will be taken by me, and let's have exchange of our ideas. As you know that the artificial intelligence is one of the most hot topics in our daily life today, and it impact our project management as well. So let's discuss today that how it is going to be impact our jobs as well, our profession as well, and whether it is going to be a destructor or it is going to be a helper for us. So in the interest of the time, I am going to start. I'll switch off the video because the internet bandwidth is not very good. So if you have any question during the session, please feel free to put that in the chat. And just to start with, I would like to understand and gauge the audience. So how many of you are currently using the artificial intelligence in your projects? So maybe you can just respond in your chat either with yes or no, so that I can understand that how many of you are currently using the artificial intelligence. So can you please put your response in the chat by yes or no, so that I can see that quickly in maybe 1 minute you can provide your response, that we can see that how many of you are, any of you are using the artificial intelligence as part of your project management. Any of you, if you are using the artificial intelligence as part of your project management, please feel free to uh, provide that information. Okay, we can see that few of you are already using it. So let us discuss. We'll start with a small video, and then we'll take the session onwards. Okay, so just give us a moment.
Generative AI can be a game changer for project managers. It's like having a proactive personal assistant that's one step ahead, looking out for your project's success. It can automate repetitive tasks like report generation and timeline updates. It can analyze large data sets to provide insightful summaries, aiding in informed decision-making. And it can suggest corrective actions to keep projects on track. This will free up your time for higher-value project management activities. Project managers that have knowledge and understanding of generative AI have a competitive advantage. You can leverage the benefits of AI in project management and stay ahead in this rapidly evolving field by embracing AI technologies and adapting to new tools and methodologies. Reflecting on the potential of AI and actively seeking opportunities to incorporate it into project management practices will be crucial for success. Generative AI will allow the field of project management to grow and benefit from increased efficiency and accuracy, ultimately improving project success rates and overall productivity. Employing AI in project management can lead to more successful outcomes, which translates to cost savings, better risk management, more stakeholder satisfaction, greater adaptability, increased data-driven decision-making, and hopefully happier project managers. Essentially, your background as a project professional brings a unique advantage to scaling up AI. In addition to your leadership, power skills, and command of good practice in diverse ways of working, you have a holistic business acumen. Project practitioners have a view beyond a singular project. They understand how projects impact the entire organization. They consider the broader implications and interconnections, ensuring that AI initiatives align with overarching business objectives and contribute to the overall success of the company. This comprehensive perspective allows you to make informed decisions and guide AI implementation in a way that optimally benefits the entire business.
So as you can see that artificial intelligence and the generative AI is going to stay with us, and it is going to be the very one of the main stakeholder of our business and the project management. So just to start with that, I would like to make a disclaimer here that the topics and the ideas which are presented here is completely my own ideas, and it doesn't belong to any of the organization. So the content and the presentation is based on the knowledge of myself and whatever the information is available in the research as well as on the internet and the market analysis. So with that, I'm going to start the session today. So in this session, it will be around 45 minutes. We are planning to complete the presentation. And the remaining time we are planning to use to discuss about any questions which is relevant to the project management, or how to use the artificial intelligence in the project management, or if you have any question on how to getting certified on the project management from the PMI. So we'll take you first with the introduction, and then we'll discuss about what is the generative AI mean. Then we are trying to discuss about few of the popular AI generators, like the chatbots and the other ones. Then we are going to discuss about some user cases of artificial intelligence in the project management. And then we are going to use is our main ideology, and we have the three legs in the talent triangle. So we are going to discuss that how we are going to use the artificial intelligence in the talent triangle, each of the arms of it. So to start with, as you know that all the thought leaders in the field of the artificial intelligence and the information technology are the strong believer of the artificial intelligence and the potential of the artificial intelligence. Why? Because they have used it in the different cases and the different scenarios, and it provided a significant amount of the productivity increase. So, but there is always a perception that maybe the artificial intelligence is going to replace our job as a project manager. So let us discuss, is it true or is it just a myth? So to start with, how we see the project management terminator as the artificial intelligence is not the correct understanding, because it is here to complement our role. It is the artificial intelligence is here to make our life easier, to help us to take the decision making in the process. But obviously, it's not going to supplant our job or any of a part of our job. Either you do it in the waterfall model, or you do it in the agile model. it's going to be help us in our daily activities as a project manager. So let us use some of the examples from what we are going to discuss. Let's start with the Gartner assessment. And Gartner's artificial intelligence business value forecast highlights the decision support or the augmenting as the largest type of the artificial intelligence by the business value add, with the fewer early barriers to adoption. As you can see in this figure, so they predicted this data is showing till 2025, and you can what their Gartner's original article mentioned that by 2030 decision support and augmentation will surpass all other types of the AI initiatives, and it is going to be 44% of the global AI derived business value, so which is quite interesting for us. So as an artificial intelligence, we have to adopt in our business for the decision making. And the decision augmentation, as you know, that it is the use of the data and the technology to empower the business user so for making the better decision. So we are going to use this artificial intelligence to make the better decisions for our project. The system recommends the decision or multiple alternatives of it. And as a business expert, as a project management professional, our responsibility is combining these synergies between the human and the technology to make a solid decision, right? And there, the role of the project managers are still important and going to be more and more relevant, as you have seen in the project management um, institute video all over the globe for all the different domains. It puts the human in the driver's seat and support in making decisions. So it is not going to replace of what we are doing, but it is going to complement of what we are doing. So a smart system or a connected system, as you know, is a device, right? So that is linked with the internet to get the information and analyze or synthesize the information for us so that it can share itself or by the environment or by user some kind of risk, some kind of prediction, some kind of assessment, right? So as for example, in the project management, when you do the global project management, there are a lot of the risk, lot of the different things are happening all over the world. As a project manager, many times we cannot follow that, right? But as an enterprise environmental factor, all those are actually impacting our project. Also, there are many risks from the business decision, from the recession, on from the other parts of the world for the different domain specific or different new technologies are coming up. So whether those are going to impact our project or not, so all those informations will be provided by the artificial intelligence to you. So that's an advantage for us. That's not going to replace our job, but that is really is going to help our job. So if we see that how it's going to help us, right? So let us discuss about what is the generative AI. So what is a generative AI? So generative AI, as you can see in the definition, the type of the artificial intelligence that generates the text, images, video, sound, code, 3D design, and other type of media in response to the input of a variety of the prompts. Meaning that it's how intelligently we are giving the prompt, so it is giving you the more and more information. So it actually learns, and when we say that it learns, meaning that it learns from the data and the information which is available in the internet, right? And it is trained on the different documents so that it can provide you the better and better information, better and better decision making. It will help you in the better decision making, and that is already exist online. So it is linked with the online information so that it can provide you a lot of the information at your fingertips. So generative AI, as you have seen, that it is trained on the unsupervised and semi-supervised learning approaches, meaning that how you're feeding the data on the system. right? And it operates the different kind of artificial intelligence models. Obviously, algorithms are there. So there is a lot of the mathematical calculations and the algorithms are there at the back end. So we do not need to know as an front-end user or the end user about all those things, but we can simply use the generative AI for the multiple purposes of our business and the project management. So why this is helpful? Because you get a lot of the different information, and in the internet there are different information about the different type of the projects, different type of the programs and the portfolios. So this will actually provide you a lot of information that in which direction your project may go or what are the risks for your project. So if you consider the what are the um, useful or the popular AI generators, right? The first one, obviously, the Chat GPT, right? So everyone talks about the Chat GPT, which is the GPT-4 is the latest one. And this language model actually is the foundation of the GPT architecture, right? And this generates the text and that resembles something to the human, meaning that we can produce, right? And this is very helpful for your research work, the strategy work, or the content creation. The next, another one which is very insightful is a GitHub Copilot. So the GitHub Copilot and the OpenAI, this has a lot of the coding helps. So that if you would like to use this for your certain kind of coding activities, macros, and other kind of automation activities, you can go and use this GitHub Copilot for that. This obviously makes our life easier, faster, and more intuitive, right? So these are very, very useful. So if you would like to go for the content preparation, right? So if you would like to go for the creative kind of work, so then Dull E2 is the best one, right? So this model generates a lot of images from the text prompts. And so you can create the very vibrant illustrations. You can create a lot of the content art. So based on your uh, requirement, you can use and you can develop a lot of the information and the um, designs from here. The other one, which is also very much used and which is formerly used as Bard and currently uses Gemini. So this is also artificial intelligence chatbot and the content generation tool. And this runs on the Gemini 1.0. So this is Google's latest response to the Microsoft chatbot. So Gemini can respond to user queries with the current Google search result and the data as supporting resources. So this is actually very helpful because this is developed by Google, and it is directly provides the information which is available on the internet. So you can get information based on the latest available information which is in the Google platform. So these are very, very interesting and the popular AI generators, but not apart from that, there are other AI generators as well, right? So those are very, very useful and very, very powerful. So if we consider that few of the things which are very useful for us, so what are the use cases, right? So what are where we can use the artificial intelligence in our project management? So if we see that, if we try to segregate the activities which we can automate or where the actually artificial intelligence can help us in managing our workload, managing our decision as a support system, then there are four main categories. But apart from that, these four main categories, there are other categories as well, right? But to summarize, what are the main things which we have explored so far, and you can use this as a case study for your projects to make your life easier, make your projects faster. So the first thing is that to automate the repetitive work which we are doing, right? So as a project manager, we have a lot of the reports to prepare, a lot of time we have to do some kind of task prioritization. So as for example, meeting minute preparation is a very common job for all of us, right? The status report which has to go. So this kind of thing we can use, we can take help from the artificial intelligence. Um, what about the next one, enhancing the creativity and the innovation? Yes, it actually helps a lot. So if you would like to use any kind of the market analysis data, so you can really use a chat GPT or the other artificial intelligence tools to get the newer ideation of your product, or newer ideation that what are the features which will be very much useful. And as you know that when we used to have the waterfall project management, and we are moving from the waterfall project management to the agile project management and the hybrid project management, there is a lot of the opportunity that you can modify the requirements, right? So give the competitive advantage of your products. So with the better ideation, better market analysis, obviously we have an advantage to decide that what are the new things we are going to incorporate in our product. And as a project manager, you can take a lead role in using this chat GPT and the other artificial intelligence tools. There are a lot of the improvement prompts are as well, so which we can use to understand that what are the different areas where the automation can be done. Some kind of innovation can be small kind of innovation can be brought into place in our project management. um, Another most important thing is that the augmenting communication, right? So as we say that for the project manager, good or bad, it is decided how well you manage your stakeholders, right? How you manage your stakeholders, how we manage our stakeholders. There are different stakeholder engagement process, right? So we discuss about the as you know that there is a um, uh, there are different models are available, like the salience model is available, right? Then the other models where you can see that whether the stakeholder, I do not want to go into all the details of the different models, but just to different project managers use different models, right? So how you prioritize your different stakeholders. So in that, one of the key thing is that how you are managing your communication. And in the time when you are managing in that after the COVID, or when we have a hybrid teams, so we have a lot of the emails have to go, a lot of the meeting has to be prepared, the presentation has to be done. So you can use really a lot of the artificial intelligence tool to understand whether and how the project management can be simplified. Another important thing is that identifying and mitigating the risk. So through the predictive analytics and through the sentiment analysis, you can identify what are the risk areas. And when you identify the risk areas, you can identify the impact of the risk, right? And that actually helps you to prioritize whether this risk is acceptable, you can keep it or monitor it, or you can use those analytics to identify which risk should be responded, meaning that it should be either mitigated or it should be transferred, it should be given to some of your vendor, right? So in that way, you can get some early prediction of your risk and what is going to happen. So that actually come from the pattern recognition, you can say, right? In the different project across the globe, what are the different risks are identified, and all those informations are synthesizing this information. As you can see here, this picture you must have seen in many places, right? This is a artificial intelligence uh, generated award-winning picture from the globe, but this is a very useful one. And you can see that what is coming up, right? So you can really have a lot of the pictures, lot of the content, lot of the decision making, so which they are making for us, and which they're preparing for us to take the final decision. So similarly, we have to use them. We have to learn how to use them. And there are a lot of the use cases are there. So obviously, you can further discuss in the subsequent slide. So as we mentioned about the um, project management, right? In the project management, as you know, that we have the Project Management Institute, which is the global organization, the NGO, which provides the information for all the different type of the project management. So the PMI has a talent triangle, right? The PMI talent triangle is actually a framework that represents the three key areas of the skills and the competencies which the project manager need to develop. What are these? What are these? Can someone please mention in the chat that what are the um, talent triangle topics, or which is actually very much important for the project managers? Can anyone provide that response in your chat? Any response can you provide, that what are the arms or what are the three legs of the talent triangle? So one of the thing which is very important for us is the power skill. Power skill meaning that our leadership skill, right? So that's the first term. The second arm is called your the way of working, meaning that how the different team has their wow, right? The way of working. And the third and most important thing is the business acumen, meaning that how the business environment is going to impact your project, right? So we are going to discuss that how the artificial intelligence is actually going to influence these three parameters: your leadership skill, decision making, your team's way of working, and your business acumen, right? So use of the generative AI to help to cultivate the effective decision making skills and to understand how your projects align with the broader organizational strategy and the global trends is the essence of how we are going to use your artificial intelligence or the generative artificial intelligence for your project, right? So first we are going to discuss about the power skills. So what is power skills? The power skills are those interpersonal skills like your collaborative leadership, like your communication, say an innovative mindset, or for purpose orientation or empathy. So Gen AI is actually can help you to become more and more effective in these areas. So how we are going to use these artificial intelligence for the power skills, which is one of the three pillars of our talent triangle. So it actually helps us to defining your why, and it is going to define how, what, and how. So to define this, how they are going to do it. Okay, let's discuss the first point, defining your why. So how artificial intelligence is going to help you to define your why for the project, and why this is important for the project manager, because that actually will give you the direction for your leadership. And as you know that project management institute and globally now all the tech leaders and all the global leaders are saying that your resources, your people is most important for your project management. So you need to depend on your power skills. So how we are going to use the artificial intelligence on your power skill? The first thing is that context. What is the meaning of context? So context meaning is to provide a description of your project and how it can connect to the strategy and the big picture. And what big picture? It's the your organizational vision and mission, your project vision, right? So for your project, it is important that how your leadership skill is going to link with your organizational vision and your project vision. And that is how we are going to, the artificial intelligence can help you in that. The next thing is to drive the purpose. So when we say that the drive the purpose, how you're going to use it. So these are the different queries or different cases or different scenarios where artificial intelligence can help you. So inform artificial intelligence of your intent and the future state of the vision, meaning that what you are going to do, right, in future mission and the vision, so that it can suggest some content which is aligned with that your purpose, meaning that how you are going to achieve to that. So it can suggest or it can predict some of the information. And as a business leader, as a project manager, you can align that with your stakeholders to make it final. But artificial intelligence can help you in that activities. Next is that it helps you to manage your audience or the stakeholders. As you know, the project as a project manager, our one of the key responsibility is to manage our stakeholders, right? And describe the audience profile to the artificial intelligence. And the artificial intelligence will adjust the complexity and tone and fit to the readers. Meaning that if you would like to want to develop some content for your CXOs, or if you would like to develop some content for your end users who does not know much kind of technicalities, so artificial intelligence will help you. And the fourth why, which also we need to define and we can get more help for information, is the scope. Ask your AI tool, right, to keep its response within 3 to 5 sentences so that you can understand, you can summarize that what exact question or what exact response is in the scope that you actually develop through the artificial intelligence. So these are the 4 whys, which is actually very helpful for you. Now, defining what and how questions, right? So what to be developed and how is to be developed. So what to be developed? So we take a pyramid principle. What is the meaning of the pyramid principle? You know, on the top of the pyramid, right? So the most important thing will be on the top. And then the less important content, less important information will be at the bottom, right? So ask the artificial intelligence to structure the content based on the pyramid principle, meaning that to provide the raw content or the main points of the artificial intelligence can help to prioritize, right? And they give you the structure so that you can understand at which point or which of this topic, the either content, purpose, and audience scope, whenever you are developing any kind of content for your project management, which are the most important points, right? And that will come on the tip of your pyramid. And then the base of your pyramid will be the supporting information, right? So that is how you can use the artificial intelligence to develop any content which will be utilized for your leadership skills, which will be utilized for your collaboration with the other stakeholders. The next thing is how we are going to do that, because when we say that these artificial intelligence tools are linked to the internet, right? So it will actually pull the information from the internet, and these are all informations are done by someone, right? So meaning that there is this is just a kind of information which is already available on the internet. So to revise and edit it is the most important part. And maybe we'll find out that many of the information which is available here is already is known because it's a kind of available in the information. So in that case, you have to revise and edit ruthlessly. What is the meaning of that? Meaning that ask the artificial intelligence to create the starting point and then trim the fat, meaning that the artificial intelligence can optimize for brevity, right? Meaning that all the things which are linked or all the things which are like a repetition, you can ask them to modify that and simplify. Ask the artificial intelligence to simplify or rephrase the sentences and use the visuals, right? Meaning that while text is based on the generative AI, might not create all the visuals. So you have to request that some visuals can be created, right? So that it actually is a original content or original, because as we say, right, the one picture is like 1,000 words. So if you can create some visuals, artificial intelligence can provide some kind of visual, that will be great. So let's move on to the next arm of our um, talent triangle. So which is called our way of working. What is the meaning of way of working? Way of working meaning, as we have discussed earlier, that way of working is the master of many ways of working, right? There are many ways of working based on your organization, based on your team, right? So how your team works, how your organization works may be different from how the PMI wants us to do it, right? So the way of working for each of the team is little different. And that is how I call that each team has their own wow, right? So we have to use that, and we can use that for the use of the generative AI. So what are the different ways we can do it? So if we understand the way of working, how artificial intelligence can help us, we have three parameters. What are the three parameters? The first parameter uh, is that how the question is being asked of Gen AI, meaning that the generative AI. Then the next is that accuracy, safety, and utility of the answer for your business purpose. What is your business purpose? What you are going to do? And the third one is that what decision is made as a result of these answers. Are you going to make some kind of critical business decision, or your decision is going to be the support of the project management, right? So what are the point to consider? The first point about the question being asked to generate generative AI. So there are a couple of the points to consider. As for example, one of the things to consider that training your team on prompting to create a unified approach, because you know artificial intelligence and the generative artificial intelligence is a lot dependent on the prompts, right? So how you're going to use it. So if you can have a unified standard, if you have provided some kind of training, some kind of procedure, so that in your organization, whenever you give the prompts, some questions, so you get the synergical result. Second is that examining the ethical consideration when you are crafting the questions. So whether you are asking some kind of biased question, or you are asking some question which are very open-ended, so that you can get very open-ended answer, and you can see actually what was the trend in the internet and across the globe. The third thing, which is very important in type of asking the question, is that holding different kind of informal session, right? So that you can understand and the cross collaborate with the different cross-functional team, that what the type of the prompt is going to be used by the other team and your team, so that there is a synergy, right? Of like if you are working in a computer company, right? So there are different organizations are there. So the marketing team is using the Gen AI for using some market analysis data, and your team is doing the business analysis. But you are getting some other type of data. While if you see why there is a difference, the approach of how the prompts are provided is not accurate or not in synergy. So you have to ensure that when you are working in a big organization where the different organization or the different departments have, or the different cross-functional team are working together for a project, so the uniformity is there in the type of the way we are asking the question, we are using the prompts. Otherwise, what will happen? The conflicting information will come, which is actually impact our project vision and the mission. Next, what is important here is the accuracy, safety, and utility of the answers. How we are going to ensure that, right? So what are the points to consider? The points which is required to be considered is how the accuracy and the validating of the citation of the fact checking can be done, right? So there should be some uniform standard that how you are going to share the approach. The example which I've given, that the marketing team and IT team doing the business analytics. So there should be kind of uniform type of quality check or the review procedure, right? And there will be some kind of frequent discussion between the teams that how they are going to do it, how they are going to use these AI prompts, and if there is any kind of synergy and alignment is required to get a similar type of answer, and ensure that there are some policies in place regarding use of the proprietary data, right? Which is most important, because we are not going to use some data which is available in the internet, and we are going to violate the IPRs, right? The policies and the proprietary information. So we need to ensure that what is your organizational policy, how your organizational policy supports, and which type of data can be used or cannot be used, or can be modified or recooked or resynthesized, right? So that actually there should be a very strong guidance on that. And see, these guidance will not be there from 5-10 years back, because these concepts of chat GPT, how you're going to use these cases in your project, are very recent, right? So maybe you will not find out anything. So in that case, you need to create some guidance document. You need to create some working procedures around which your project will be supported, and get the decision approved, endorsed from the senior management, so that this is aligned with your organizational as a whole strategy, right? So it should not be something which only your project is doing. So in that way, we can ensure that there's some policies are there. And once these are done, the decision which is made as a result of this answer also needs to consider few points. What are the points to consider? So first thing is that gaining an understanding of the data set the AI is drawing from, to understand how it is going to align with the business objective. Because ultimately this data which is available from the artificial intelligence chatbot or chat GPT, you are going to use that data for your project, which is linked to your organizational objective and the vision, right? Either you do some project for your third parties, or you do some project or your internal project, but every project is linked to the organizational vision and mission, right? Either it is a financial decision, financial value addition, or there is a business value addition, or new market, or the new customer onboarding, right? Some alignment, some new objective will be there. So we have to understand that the data which we are collecting is actually aligned with those business vision and the mission. Otherwise, what will happen? There will be a complete mismatch, and this data is not going, it cannot be utilized or cannot be viewed as part of your organizational strategy. So another important thing is that you can do some simulation, right? You can do some simulation with some role playing, with some possible stakeholder conversation with your favorite AI chatbot to see how is the response. And that particular response, whether this response is very much useful for you or not, right? For your business strategy, is this aligned or not, right? So you can do some kind of simulation or the pilot exercise before you decide that I'm going to use this model, this chatbot for my project management decision making. So these are the few things which we need to align and which we need to ensure how the project, and particularly for the way of working, how we are going to use it. The third one, which is very, very important as we have discussed, is the business acumen. What are the points to consider for the business acumen? There are 4 points to consider. The first point to consider is identify the problem, right? Why you want to do something. Then the next thing is to gather the data around that problem statement or the solution of the particular problem. And from that, you need to generate some solution, right? Because you come back to the chat GPT because you want some solution for the problem, right? And so the first thing is that you should have a clear understanding what is the problem, right? And then you are going to endorse that particular decision or the solution which you are going to make as part of the chatbot solution or the chatbot information. You are going to validate that with the human, meaning that human in the loop use that to verify that what decision you are going to make is actually really as per your business project requirement, or it is going to really solve the problem. So this is how we see that our job is not going to be replaced, but we need to learn the artificial intelligence, that how it can be used for our purpose, right? And that is how it is important how we are going to learn about the project management, right? So the project management, how it has been done 10 years back and 5 years back, and how it is going to be done this now currently with a lot of the artificial intelligence and chatbot is different, but still our jobs are very much relevant, right? It's you can say that it's project manager version 2.0, and that is how PMI has also released a lot of the materials, how these new things has been come up with us, and how our new project management strategies and the ideologies are going to be used, right? So first, if we discuss about the identifying the problem, what is a key topic to consider here? So when you encounter a challenge, articulate it in a clear terms to your favorite generative AI. That what is your problem, so that you can get the correct answer. Then ask the artificial intelligence to source the information on the specific industry function. Because if you are working on, say, your manufacturing domain, and you are going to discuss, and the artificial intelligence is going to provide you the information from the oil and gas, aeronautical engineering, IT, so all the different domain, then actually your solution will be diluted, right? So you have to mention specifically that which type of the industry. As for example, if you are a manufacturing industry, try to find out, try to fit the data to your artificial intelligence so that they can provide the specific industry information, right? And if you have a vast data set, then obviously, as we have discussed, that it is going to be diluted, right? The next point, excuse me, the next point is how the generating the solution. So Gen AI presents possible solution, right? The best practices or steps tailored to your context. So it might also run simulations or predictions if required. Try to utilize it to find out whether it is actually possible to get more information which is applicable for your project and your scenario. And then utilizing the human in the loop, as I have mentioned, apply the AI suggestions and give the refinement of his future responses based on the iterative learning, because it is more learned when you give and feed more data. So these are the three important information which I would like to take you through, because we have the three arms of this talent triangle from the PMI. And we are very near to going to complete the presentation, and then we'll move on to the question and answer session. So um, the there we have to make some caution here, right? Because it will give the prediction, it will give the solution, right? But you have to ensure that there are certain things which we are going to validate, right? For the data quality, for the model which has been used, or if it is ethical to use this information. So first, if you say that data quality and the reliability, right? So research and assess the AI tool providers. We have to do that and understand the data limitation, right? And to find out the setup alerts for the anomalies or continuously validate the outcomes, right? Otherwise, what will happen, the quality of the data, if you have used one time, but there are new data coming up, so the data may not be good if you do not have a quality review system. The next is artificial intelligence model selections and the integration. So meaning that this conduct some kind of assessment, some kind of pilot test, as I explaining, right? So you try to do some kind of small simulation, right? And try to understand that what is the data is generated, the model is selected, is actually fulfilling your purpose, and that is actually the correct data. And you can validate with your subject matter experts, right? To with on a small level, that this data maybe for last 1 year or last for 6 months or 3 months, whether this data is giving the correct predictions or it is actually giving the correct risk based on the domain where we are working, right? So, and once you confirm that, you need to maybe have some kind of periodic evaluation that this is still giving you the right answer, right? The other important thing is that the ethical assessment, right? Because there are diverse perspective. There are we all the participants are from the different domains, right? Some are from the manufacturing, some are from the information technology, some are from the pharma, some are from the oil and gas. So we have to ensure that the different domain which we are using is actually the fairness is safeguard. So the ethical problems do not cause hazard to our projects, and then we have to also ensure there is a security and the privacy concerns, because as you know that organizations have from the different project management domains, different project management geographies, there are different privacy requirement, right? We have to follow that. In the Europe it is GDPR, in the US it is HIPAA, in India also the in last year we have the new data privacy requirement has there. So we have to ensure that all these things have been taken into consideration. We also have the human in the loop approach, meaning as you have mentioned that validating the information with the decision making points and train the team members, just to ensure that we are having some feedback mechanism. So regular reviews are there and update option with the feedback is there. And the last thing, and but not the least, is that continuous training, right? Hands-on experience, the industry network, feedback, and knowledge sharing with the internal team. That will actually help you to understand that what is happening for the particular domain. What are the risks has been identified with the chatbot for, say, on a particular domain, right? So this will actually help us a lot if you have the industry connects. So with that, I'll take a pause and I would like to take if there is any questions on this artificial intelligence, generative AI, or if you have any questions on your project management preparation, if you are already ahead in the journey in the project management preparation, if you have any questions on that, I'd be happy to take that question. So is there any question you have, guys, which you would like to discuss? Or if you have any question on the how to prepare for the exam, I'll be happy to take that question. So I have a small poll. Maybe we can use that poll and to take some feedback here. Just give me one moment. Let me see the poll here. Let me launch the poll and I will request all of you to provide your feedback here. So can you please provide your responses quickly? We can see the poll. I've opened the poll. Can you please provide the response how like the session? So your feedback. Did you find the information is informative? How you're going to use it? And would you like to be discuss about your project management preparation? Because as you can see from across the globe, so we need to implement this artificial intelligence, and project managers are there to implement this information. So so if you would like to get some kind of information, so if you have any question about the preparation about for the exam, just let us know. That will be helpful. Also, I would like to share with all of you. So any other response, any other, I can see only a few more responses are expected. So just let us know. So if there are no other questions, then I would like to thank you for your participation today. And it's really nice interacting with all of you. And I would like to thank you all for joining in the session. So we would then close the session today. So thank you all. Thank you, everybody.